Hello and a very warm welcome to Science Monitor, your weekly update on what's happening in the field of science, technology, research and innovation. I'm Frank Rausen Pereira. From nano-modified cement-based materials to age-old techniques of traditional water mills, we have lots in store for you today. So let's begin with the headlines. CDEC signs MOUs with premier academic and R&D institutions of the country, an effort to boost manufacture and establishment of supercomputing infrastructure in the country. Indian astrophysicists find distinctive signature of black hole event horizon. The signature can prove the existence of a stellar mass black hole indubitously. High-strength nano-cement material developed by Jamia Millia Islamia faculty gets Indian patent, will be especially useful in constructing strategically important structures. And we will explore our rich traditional knowledge by having a look at the GHARAATs, the traditional water mills used to grind grains in the hilly regions of the country. And now, the news in detail. To boost the manufacture and establishment of supercomputing infrastructure in India, CDEC, or Center for Development of Advanced Computing under the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, has signed a total of 13 MOUs with the premier academic and R&D institutions of India. The development will help in achieving the goals of the National Supercomputing Mission, which aims to make India future-ready to overcome multidisciplinary grand challenges. Let's have a look at this report.
Supercomputing is playing an important role in the rapid technology development around the world. And today it is the key to many areas like computational biology, molecular dynamics, national security, computational chemistry, cyber-physical systems, big data analytics, government information systems. India has been making steady progress in this direction. And now, to accelerate it further, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, organized an online ceremony on the 12th of October, during which the Center for Development and Advanced Computing signed 13 MOUs with leading academic and R&D institutions of the country under the National Supercomputing Mission. The institutions will soon partner in indigenous assembling and manufacturing to establish supercomputing infrastructure in the country and make the facilities available at an affordable cost. The Department of Science and Technology, CDEC, under the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology and the Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, are operating the National Supercomputing Mission. And from now on, almost all the IITs of the country, as well as the institutes like NITs, will also cooperate in this mission. The mission aims to empower national academic and R&D institutions spread over the country by installing a vast supercomputing grid comprising of more than 70 high-performance computing facilities.
This supercomputer will be used for meeting the computational needs of not only the IIT Kanpur's researchers, but also will be a part of the national supercomputing facilities that are being set up at other institutions and will be available to other researchers who need high performance computing in the country.
In the last 5 years, emphasis was given on design and fabrication of hardware and software of the supercomputers in India. and now equipped with advanced artificial intelligence and machine learning techniques. The mission will empower the country to become self-reliant to overcome the multidisciplinary challenges of the future.
Although astronomers think that there are many black holes in our universe, yet providing a definitive proof of their existence is considered to be the holy grail of modern physics. Now, in an interesting development, an international team led by astrophysicists of Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Mumbai, has discovered a distinctive signature of black hole event horizon. Well, according to the scientists, their finding is by far the strongest steady signature of accreting stellar mass black holes to date, as it distinguishes them unmistakably from neutron stars.
A black hole is a region in space which has a gravity so strong that even light cannot escape from it. So, if one wants to escape a black hole, then it must travel faster than the speed of light. Or maybe even that won't be enough. Theoretically, a black hole has a boundary called event horizon and an extremely dense center, which is called the singularity. The scientists infer its presence by examining the behavior of the objects that surround it or fall into it. Depending upon their mass, black holes are divided into 4 categories, though the one called miniature black hole is purely theoretical, with the size of an atomic particle but the mass of Mount Everest. The other types are supermassive black holes. They can have a mass of nearly million to billion suns. Evidence suggests that such black holes exist at the center of most galaxies. Scientists imaged this type of black hole through Event Horizon Telescope in 2019. However, scientists do not know how such black holes form, although galaxies may play a role in their formation. Intermediate black holes have a mass of about 100 to 1000 solar masses. It is assumed that they are created when stars or black holes collide. Stellar mass black holes are the most common one. According to NASA, a typical stellar class of black hole has a mass between 3 to 10 solar mass and is formed when a star 10 to 20 times more massive than our Sun dies and collapses upon itself.
When the fuel of a star is entirely or mostly burned, then the core of the star collapses under its own weight, and rest part of the star is just gone away by an explosion. Sometimes we call it supernova explosion. So this core of the star collapses and becomes either a black hole or a neutron star, depending the mass of or how much material is inside the core. So if there is more material, nothing can stop it. It becomes a black hole. It becomes a so-called singularity, and the space-time wraps around it, and it just becomes invisible. If it's a neutron star, in case of a neutron star, the core mass is not that high. So it is stopped by a pressure called the degeneracy pressure. Neutrons, for example, neutron is a fundamental particle. It's so-called degeneracy pressure. It's stopped by that. It is still extremely dense. For example, a cup of neutron star matter would outweigh possibly the Mount Everest.
Stellar mass black holes bend the space-time around them in an extreme way, more powerfully than a supermassive black hole. Therefore, they are indispensable to probe some extreme aspects of the universe. But first, we need to identify them. Gravitational waves can indicate their presence, but this signature is very transient. These black holes can also be recognized when they devour material from a companion star and therefore shine in X-rays when viewed through a compatible telescope. But a neutron star can also shine in X-rays by accreting matter from a companion star in a similar way. although it has a hard surface but may seem comparable in terms of mass and size. So, in an effort to distinguish stellar mass black holes from neutron stars, scientists studied the archival X-ray data from the decommissioned astronomy satellite Rossi X-ray Timing Explorer and identified the effect of the lack of hard surface on the observed X-ray emission by studying the change in spectrum of light due to scattering from electrons.
We studied a number of sources, number of such X-ray sources, which could be either neutron stars or black holes. And we had a very good idea which are possibly the black hole candidates and which are possibly the neutron stars. Now, based on this temperature of the electron cloud and some other parameters, which will be too technical to describe, so I will not, but there are several parameters. Based on those several measured parameters, we could entirely distinguish the two populations, black holes and neutron stars. And this we could do because black holes do not have the hard surface. And this lack of hard surface, therefore, we could easily identify from the measured X-rays which are observed with one particular satellite in our work.
According to the scientists, their study has led to an extremely strong signature of accreting stellar mass black holes, and the study has been published in the monthly notices of the Royal Astronomical Society.
Well, it's now time to take a short break on the program, but we'll be back with much more. Stay tuned.
Defeat coronavirus. Let us always remember, wear a mask, wash hands, follow physical distancing. Together, we'll succeed. Together, we'll win against COVID-19.
Welcome back. You're watching Science Monitor. I'm Frank Rausen-Pereira. Well, nanotechnology refers to the use and control of any matter at nanoscales to enhance its properties for various purposes. Nowadays, this technology is being used in various fields to develop extraordinary materials. In this series, Indian engineers have now developed nano-modified cement-based materials exhibiting remarkable strength. The work is a result of collaboration among engineers of various academic institutes, and the product and its method have received patent from the Government of India. Here's more.
The strength of any construction lies in its building material, and cement is a key component of it. Cement paste binds the concrete, and safety and durability of any construction depends heavily on the strength of this bond. That is why the scientists are constantly working to enhance the properties of the cement. And to achieve the same goal, Assistant Professor Ibadur Rahman of the Department of Civil Engineering in Jamia Millia Islamia started working on the development of NANOCEMENT in 2012 when he was a student at the institute. The project progressed further under the guidance of Professor Muhammad Arif and Professor Amir Azam of Aligarh Muslim University. After 2 years of hard work, the team was successful in developing high-strength nanocement in 2014, for which now a patent has been granted by the concerned authority of the Government of India.
The purpose of this invention was to bring nanotechnology with construction nanotechnology to study nano-cement based nanocomposites so that we can have nanocomposite or concrete having high strength.
Regular cement comes in micro size, and it took a lot of effort to develop an indigenous nano alternative. For grinding of fine cement particles, the institute collaborated with the lab of IIT Kanpur. The influence of additive components such as NANOCEMENT, silica fume, nanosilico fume, fly ash and nanofly ash was thoroughly studied with reference to normal size cement matrix. With the addition of the nanoparticles, a remarkable improvement in the properties of cementitious matrix was observed.
So what we have done, we have taken a normal cement and tried to impart nanotechnology in the field of civil engineering. So first we choose the material cement, and we used generally the size of the cement generally comes to micro size, 10 to the power -6, -7, -5, around that. So what we have decided to reduce the particle size further to a nano level, means 10 to the power -9. So if the particle size will reduce, the surface area will become more of the cement, and it will help in gaining this strength as much as we are expecting for that.
High-strength nanocement not only makes the construction stronger, but also reduces the weight of the construction material. The modified nanocomposites will be useful in strategically important structures requiring high strength like nuclear power plants, airport runways and bridges. They are also suitable for the construction of high-rise buildings under the Smart City project of Government of India.
The material, when used at nano scale, accounts for a significant improvement in the structural properties. Our investigation is aimed at developing nano-modified cement-based materials. These nano-modified cement-based materials can be used with full confidence for structures where high strength and high performance are of prime concern.
After the success of nanocement at the experimental level, researchers are now working to improve its quality further. They are also studying the cement industry to manufacture the product at a mass level. Many other countries are using similar technology to build smart structures, and when an indigenous nano product will enter the Indian market, it will certainly benefit the construction sector.
Well, there is a lot being done today to promote the use of renewable energy among the global population. Though it may seem like newfound energy to many of us, yet it simply refers to harnessing the energy of natural resources like the sun, water, and wind. In fact, we have been using this energy for centuries in the form of local solutions like the traditional water mills found in the hilly regions of the country. These water mills have been used not only to grind grains but also to generate electricity. Undoubtedly, this technique must have inspired the modern hydropower plants.
Mountainous regions have their own difficulties and blessings. Although the slope of the mountains poses difficulties in everyday life, yet the abundance of nature makes up for it. Unique vegetation, waterfalls and fresh water streams cater not only to the local residents but also to the population in the plains. This is the district of Mandi in Himachal Pradesh. You can find here modern machinery as well as traditional techniques. People living here have been running their traditional water mills using the same renewable energy of water resources on the lines of which modern hydropower plants have been built. The traditional water mill known as GHARAAT is an age-old technique to harness the energy of running water to grind the grains. This technique must have inspired the modern hydropower plants that are catering to our power needs. The science behind GHARAAT is quite simple. A covered structure is built near a running water stream, which houses two grinding stones like a traditional flour mill. The lower stone is stationary, while the upper one is rotatable and connected to a shaft, which has a turbine at the lower end. When the water falls over the turbine, it starts rotating, and this leads to the rotation of the upper stone of the floor mill. This is done by diverting the water of a running stream using a long wooden channel. The water is made to fall from a height so that it falls with a force to run the turbine. This in turn runs the stone of the floor mill. In order to stop the water mill, all one needs is a hindrance which can stop the flow of water. In this way, it can be used according to one's own will. People have been using this local technique for centuries, but now this traditional technique is losing its usability due to modern technology which uses electricity. However, in some hilly areas, people are now generating electricity using the same water mills.
Well, it's time for another short break on the program right now, but we'll be right back.
Ustad Bismillah Khan, the legendary maestro who brought Shehnai to the center stage of Indian classical music in 1937. With his heart-touching rendering of Rag Rafi, Ustad mesmerized millions of hearts on the eve of the First Republic Day. But most significant was when India achieved independence, and Bismillah Khan performed from the ramparts of the Red Fort on 15th August 1947. Ustad Bismillah Khan was awarded India's highest civilian award, Bharat Ratna.
Welcome back. You're watching Science Monitor. And now let's have a quick look at some other developments that have made news in the field of science and technology in our segment Science Express.
On 15th October, the nation remembered the late President of India and an exceptional scientist, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, on his 89th birth anniversary. In 2010, the United Nations honored him by designating his birthday as World Students' Day, and since then, it is celebrated every year across the globe. Dr. Kalam was born on 15th October 1931 in Tamil Nadu's Rameshwaram. He served in premier organizations like ISRO and DRDO and played a pivotal role in developing indigenous missile technology, which led to the development of guided missiles like Agni and Prithvi. He rightfully earned the title of Missile Man of India through his extraordinary work. Dr. Kalam also served as the 11th President of India from 2002 to 2007, and his popularity with the masses earned him the title of People's President. Dr. Kalam was honored with many awards, including the highest civilian award of the country, the Bharat Ratna. He donned several hats in his life and left a lasting impression with his hard work and humility. In an effort to encourage scalable solutions that could solve some of the Earth's most pressing environmental challenges, Britain's Prince William is dedicating $65 million to create a new global environmental award called the Earthshot Prize. Starting in 2021, the Earthshot Prize will be awarded annually to 5 people, organizations or groups for solutions to the 5 Earthshot objectives: protecting and restoring nature, cleaning the air, reviving oceans, building a waste-free world, and fixing the climate. Each winner will receive £1 million. The aim is to have at least 50 solutions to problems within each of these 5 areas by 2030. The Prince has signed up high-profile names like British naturalist David Attenborough to his prize council. Nominations will open on November 1st this year. An annual global awards ceremony will be held in a different city each year, starting in London in autumn 2021. The Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, along with the KPIT Technologies, recently showcased India's first hydrogen fuel cell prototype car. The technology of this car is based on the fuel cell stack developed by CSIR's National Chemical Laboratory, Pune. This fuel cell is a low-temperature PEM or proton exchange membrane type of fuel cell, operating at a temperature of 65 to 75 degrees centigrade and is therefore suitable for use in vehicles. KPIT has used its expertise in stack engineering. This technology will reduce the fossil fuel emissions that lead to air pollutants and greenhouse gases. According to a study done by Australia's National Science Agency, CSIRO, SARS-CoV-2 can remain infectious for a longer period in cool and dark environments. All the experiments were done in the dark to remove the impact of sun's ultraviolet light. The study showed the virus survived better on smoother surfaces like banknotes, mobiles, glass covers, and stainless steel. It remained active for up to 28 days, while the influenza A virus survived for 17 days in the same conditions. The study also showed that the ability of the virus to survive increased with the lowering of the temperature. While the study reinforces the importance of sanitizing, it also indicates for countries like India that the virus could become more infectious in the winter months when the temperatures dip and sunlight is minimum. The study was published in Virology Journal. According to the country's apex medical research body, Indian Council of Medical Research, 3 cases of suspected coronavirus reinfection have been described in India. 2 cases are from Mumbai and 1 is from Ahmedabad. As the definition of reinfection is still not very clear at the global level, so ICMR had decided upon a cutoff of 100 days for reinfection. The decision was based on some studies which showed that the antibodies of SARS-CoV-2 have a life of 4 months. Now, to understand the true burden of the reinfected cases, ICMR is commissioning a study, the results of which will be shared in a couple of weeks.
Well, that's it in today's edition of Science Monitor. But we would like to hear from you. Please send your feedback and your suggestions. You can email us. Our email ID is news@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write to us at our address, Vigyan Prasar, 5th floor, Prithvi Bhavan, Lodi Road, New Delhi, 110003. That's it on this telecast. See you again next time.